Yep, we are live, Kathy Kenny. Hi, everybody out there. It's Anita Yacht, along with my sister, Kathy Kenny, and we are here to do Kathy and Anita share your path to renewal. We're excited about being here for our weekly webinars, where we are going to introduce a topic each week that will help you on your path to renewal. Today's topic is a great topic. I think it's one of the most powerful in oops, my phone just went off. It's one of the most powerful in building your path to renewal, and that is, are you creating your life by design or by default? So what we're going to do today is Kathy and I are just going to take a few minutes to introduce ourselves and tell you a little bit about ourselves, and then we'll dive right into our topic. And after that, we're going to tell you how we laid the foundation for creating our path to renewal with the company that we're both with, and that's called Univera. So I'm going to throw it to my big sister, Kathy Kenny, to start.
Welcome, everybody. We're really excited to have you guys here, and I'm talking to you live from Fort Collins, Colorado. I live clear across the country from Anita. She lives in Virginia. I am her big sister, and we are just so excited to be sharing with you some of our life experiences and just as we go on this new adventure together. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about me. I was a preschool teacher for 25 years. I've raised 3 kids. I have 2 sons who are both married and a 24-year-old daughter. So I am kind of back to being alone in the house after 27 years of having children here. So I'm really learning to reinvent myself. And I became, after preschool teacher, I became a yoga instructor and a Reiki master as well. And then I also have been in business with Univera, which is where I joined with Anita in that venture. And so we're just here to share with you some of our life experiences. And like Anita said, it's going to be about do I create my life by design or by default? And it's kind of an exciting topic that we all need to look at in our lives to move forward. And I'm going to throw it back to Anita.
Okay, thanks, Kathy. Well, I'm in Virginia, and I am the mother of 3 spirited boys. Actually, they're teenagers now, and my oldest is 20, so he's not a teenager anymore. He's in college. And I keep pretty busy with my teenagers. They're both involved in active sports, and I, too, was in the education field for a long time, and then after that became a yoga instructor. So Kathy and I not only have Univera, our business, in common, but we also have our path as lifelong students and also teachers of yoga. And let me see, I just think today's topic is one of the most powerful, and one of the things is that about 20 years ago I really needed something in my life to make a change, because I was really just kind of trying to figure out what this was all about. And when I think about this topic, I think that it is one of the ones that we all need to take a look at, because at that time in my life, I thought life was happening to me, and I was really, truly just reacting to life. I didn't realize that I really had the ability to kind of jump in and take control over what was happening and how my life was unfolding. So I'm going to throw it back to Kathy to really dive into this great topic of are you, and first I want you to ask that question of yourself. Are you creating your life by design or by default? Really, when you look at that, just think about that for a moment before Kathy jumps in, because your answer to that question can make a huge difference in how you're moving through the world. Okay, Kathy.
Thanks, Anita. So thinking about that question that Anita just asked you, on top of that, think, how about this? Do you believe that you can create your life by design, or do you just feel like you're stuck in situations and with people who, you know, unless they're going to change, really you have no options? I think for a lot of us that's the case, and you really have to think about that. Perhaps you do it in some situations and then not in others. Perhaps you think that you can change your life for the small things, that you can easily make a different decision. But for other things, you think, oh man, I'm in this situation, I'm in this work situation, I'm in this relationship, these things are happening to me, like Anita said, and I really will just have to wait until my situation changes. And for some, that never happens. So I think, like Anita said, I also was looking to make some changes in my life about 10 years ago. And, I think that saying of when the teacher is ready, or when the student's ready, the teacher appears. And that's really what happened for me. And we both agree, Anita and I, that it's not going to be just, one little thing that's going to change our entire life. It really has to be a conscious changing your whole outlook of your lifestyle. So, and everyone has experiences with that to share. We all up and want to learn from you as much as you're going to learn from us, we hope. And so that idea of, do you believe that you could create your life by design? Do you believe that you could make different choices? Do you believe that, you get to be in charge and you get to be the leader and change things that aren't going well for you? So another question to ask yourself is, do you enjoy what you're doing? Do you enjoy what you're doing? And maybe you need to make a list of that and see what are the things that you would really, really, really like to change. Sometimes I think about people make New Year's Eve resolutions every year, and they maybe have a list of 10 things and they're so excited to get started and they can't wait. And then on New Year's Day, they wake up and think, whoa, that is too many things. That is too overwhelming. I can't even imagine trying to make all those changes. And so they don't even get started. An example is health clubs. They get, all these people sign up in January and February. I've taught yoga at a health club for 14 years, and in January and February, it's packed. And by March, it's empty because people have given up. They're not going to keep going. They're done. It's just too overwhelming. So if there's one thing that you could change in your life, what would it be? It's not about making all these changes, about doing them all at once. Maybe you need to take baby steps. Just take one at a time or two at a time and really focus your energy on that. Prioritize, and maybe you want to make a change in your diet. Maybe you want to make a change with exercise. You want to add it in or add more. Maybe you want to improve your relationship and your health, your eating, habits. So there's lots of different things that you perhaps want to change, but it's not about doing them all in one day. I think I'm going to give it back to Anita.
Okay. Well, one of the questions that kind of catapults off of that, Kathy, is we're asking everybody out there, do you think that happiness comes from without or within? And that also kind of feeds into the same thing about, do you create your life? Because if you think that happiness happens from without, then if things aren't really well out there, then you're probably, your happiness depends on something happening on the outside, like the next relationship, when I find the right person, when I find the right job, when I find, so your happiness is dependent upon outer things. Well, the fact of the matter is that all of us are going to experience challenges in our lives, right? And we're all going to experience things that perhaps, are even, detrimental, We're born and we die. And so there's a lot of things that happen in between there, and many of them are challenging. So if we're only focused on the challenging things in our life, and that happiness comes from without, then oftentimes we miss the moments that can be really powerful. And when we start to search inward and find that happiness from within, and realize that in every moment we can choose the way that we see something, it really transforms how you see your life. There was something I was going to say about that Kathy was mentioning, but kind of lost it here.
Well, I was just thinking, Anita, something that Anita and I talk about all the time is your thoughts, your words, and your actions, what you're doing. So what you're thinking, what you're saying, and what you're doing, and how do they line up? How do they line up? Because how often do we have things happen where let's, for an instance, at a school, and someone asks you to volunteer, and you've done it years in the past, and maybe you're ready to not do it, or maybe you don't have the time, maybe you're involved in some other things, and you would like to say, no, that isn't going to work for me this time, but because we feel guilty, or we want to look good, or we want to make people happy, or whatever it is, we're out of our integrity. We say yes, we will do it. We walk away and we think, gosh darn it, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. And then you may end up doing it but not be real happy about whatever it is you're doing. So that's just an example. There's hundreds of examples of that we do all the time. What we're saying things to people when inside that's not really how we feel. So Anita and I, because we're in the yoga world, we study a lot about connecting body, mind, and spirit, which really is consciousness. It's really about being conscious. And I think that is something where if you can line up your thoughts, your words, and your actions, you're living in integrity, you're living honestly, and you're going to see more success in your life, you're going to feel better, and you're just going to move through the world better. So I wanted to add that in, Anita.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that whole happiness thing is too. When we are looking for happiness on the outside, then we often miss the good things. So one of the things that I think would be really, really powerful to do too is to step back. Everything that you're seeing out there, because right now there's a lot of it out there, isn't there, Kathy? Like just what's happening out in the world can look really, really dark to a lot of people, and we take on that energy a lot of times. So if we can really just step back and take some time every day to look at what is going well in our life, because even from just the little things like sitting down and enjoying a cup of coffee, sometimes when we start doing that, we start to notice how more and more we have things that we can be grateful for, have gratitude for. So Kathy, let's just throw it back and see what are some things that they can do between now and the next time we come together to work on this topic that we have today.
Okay, so first off, I would bring yourself back to that question that Anita asked. Do you create your life by design or by default? And do you believe that you have the ability to create your life by design, or do you believe that you're in situations and with people and that are, unless they change, you're not going to be able to move ahead? So you really have to ask yourself that question. You might think you're one way and you might be another. So it's something to take some time to just sit with. And then also asking yourself if you enjoy what you're doing. Life is about it really is. Life is about having fun. Whether people tell you it's about, there's people out there that say it's all about hard work and no fun, and, really, it's not going to get you far, and you're going to be stressed out, and you're going to age quicker, and you're not going to be looking too good as you move on in the world. I think even me as 58 years old, 58 years young, I should say, I feel like I'm just getting started. Are you passionate about what you're doing? Find something that you're passionate about doing. It's your time, and life is short, like Anita said, and this is the time to take some time for yourself and really go for it. So answering those questions, did I leave anything out? Oh, I wanted to just piggyback on what Anita said about being grateful, because I know there's this thing going on, that there was the ice bucket challenge, and now there's this grateful thing going on where people are naming 3 things, and I am dumbfounded by how many people say they couldn't even come up with 3 things a day of being grateful for. Because really, seriously, oh my gosh, when you're grateful and you find all the things in your day that you're grateful for, oh my gosh, things come back to you. It's kind of a giving and receiving thing. Be grateful for what you have. And I think some people, maybe they just haven't taken the time to even look to see what they're grateful for. They have no idea how many things they could be grateful for, and it just, it's a practice. 5 days, I would say do it for 30 days, do it for 90 days, do it for 100 days, whatever, a year, and try to name something that
the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life, and see how many things come back to you, and how many things the more grateful you are, the more your life is going to flow. So I think that if you can't think of 3 things a day that you're grateful for 5 days, you might need to decide that, wow, you might need to make a change about that, because I think you're not looking quite hard enough. So.
Well, and I think it's a mind shift, Kathy. Remember, I think Because I can tell you, until I found yoga and started that whole practice of inner searching, that, you know, I really was reacting to everything on the outside. And I still, you know, believe me, I still react to things on the outside, but I can catch myself and realize that, you know, look at the situation differently. And I think that's what we have a tendency to do. We have a tendency to be focused on things that aren't going right, instead of looking at all the good things. Because really, I think once you start doing that, there's kind of this shift that happens where then you start seeing that the challenging things, you start looking at it differently and wanting to figure out a way to react differently to those challenges. And so I think it's really important to start to focus a lot on the things you're grateful for and the things that are going right in your life, because it's too easy to just attach to those things that you know, aren't going so well. So
exactly.
Okay, so I think that wraps it up today for our topic, and it really is a powerful, powerful tool for you to use, just to sit quietly and just ask yourself those questions that Kathy and I were talking about today. Are you creating your life by design or by default? And happiness come from within or without? So just taking time to kind of focus on those over the next week. And next week our topic is going to be about the power of intentions. And Kathy and I know how really important it is to start your day and to move throughout your entire day with an awareness, a consciousness of your intentions and what it is that you're, how you're moving through the world. So we'll look forward to covering that topic next week. Now we're going to jump into how Kathy and I really have laid the foundation for our path to renewal, and that is through the company called Univera. So I'm going to pull up my desktop so you can see our slideshow, and basically we're going to tell you what Univera is, and talk about the products a little bit, and talk about the business opportunity. Okay, so Kathy, can you see the slides?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go ahead and let me make sure I'm sharing to everybody. Okay. And let's see here. Just got to make sure we're moving here. Okay. So I'm going to move it one slide just to make sure it's moving. Is that working?
Yep.
All right. Good. Okay. So Kathy and I are sharing your path to renewal. And why do we say your path to renewal there? That's because we're excited about sharing with you. Each one of us is on our own path, but really, in reality, we all connect with that. And Univera has brought us together because not only do we connect with taking the products to help nourish our bodies, but we're also connecting with the idea of building relationships with people and helping them along their paths to renewal, helping them live a life of health, prosperity, and purpose.
Hey, Anita, do you want to give your testimony
About
Univera?
Oh, I totally forgot about that, Kathy.
Well, you can leave this slide up.
Okay, sure. You want to give yours first, since you introduced me to the company?
Okay. So just a little bit, about 10 years ago, which I was talking to you before, I had someone, actually, what was happening in my life was I had no energy. I'd lost all the energy that I'd had. My kids were getting older and starting to move away. I was feeling a little sluggish. I was starting to experience joint pain. I had gained about 15 pounds after my 3 kids. That just kind of hung around, and you know, people were saying, you're in your late 40s. That's just what happens. Just deal with it. And you know, I felt there was something missing in my diet. I felt I needed to exercise more. I needed help. I was really asking for help. So, of course, when I was asking for help, someone came and appeared, and one of my yoga students, and said, would you like to try this product that will give you more energy and help you to focus? Oh, I needed focus. Help you with stress. I felt like I had a lot of stress and joint pain, and I thought, well, of course I would like to try something. So I started taking this product that you'll hear about in a little bit, and really I noticed the energy quite quickly. And I was so intrigued with it that I started adding different products each month. And I have never looked back. I couldn't stop talking about them. I was not interested in doing the business. I was interested in improving my health. And for a year, I was not interested in doing any of the business, but I couldn't stop talking about them, and I kept telling people, and Anita was one of them, to try these. Just try them, because you get to try them. And it's just incredible. And I could tell you so many different stories about people and my own life and my family's life, and how our health has improved, and how I feel better now at 58 than I did ever at 38 or 48. And I just feel like I'm getting started. So you'll hear more about testimonies as we move through these webinars, but I'm going to give it back to Anita.
Okay, thanks, Kathy. And see, now you know how it is. It's great that because both Kathy and I've been able to stay at home and work, and you heard the phone ringing and you heard the dog barking. So you know that I'm really at home working. That's what I'm doing. So my testimony for Univera is I went out to visit Kathy in Colorado one time, and she was drinking all this stuff, and I was like, what are you drinking? Not all this stuff, there's just a few things, but she was drinking it every day and consistently, and so I was intrigued about it, and so she shared it with me, and I really, really liked it. But I have to tell you, when I got home, I didn't jump on the bandwagon. I didn't start to take the products or anything. Basically just because I just didn't think about it that much once I got home. And then I started to have some serious health issues, and I actually had an operation and was looking at some more extensive surgery. And Kathy told me, she said, Anita, why don't you try this stuff? You don't have anything to lose. And of course, I said, sure, I'm going to try it. And I can tell you this, I would have kept taking the products even if the situation that I was under had not changed around, because of the way that the products made me feel. And the situation did turn itself around after 3, 6, 9 months of biopsies. By the 9th month, he said, good news, we don't have to have surgery, and things are looking really good. So, but I would have kept taking the products because of the way they made me feel. Usually around 3 or 4 o'clock, I had 3 young children at home. I was just dying to get into bed. I'm like thinking, when is the next time I can get into bed? And I can tell you, I hadn't been doing much exercising because I just didn't feel like I had the energy. I was trying to, but it was like a drag on me. What I noticed once I first started taking the products, it wasn't like immediately, bam, overnight. But subtly, over about 2 to 3 weeks, all of a sudden I realized I didn't have that feeling at 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I also was feeling this urge to exercise. And I can tell you that was a good feeling, because I was not feeling that before that. So I've never looked back. I didn't start the business right away either. I kept taking the products, but I got to a space where I really felt like I had a responsibility to share these products with other people. And then when I went to the convention with Kathy one year and met Bill Lee, the owner, that totally sealed the deal. And we'll talk a little bit about him in a little bit, but this company's, the integrity and what it has to offer and how it's moving through the world is really powerful. So I'm here for good. So let's move on. What is Univera? Univera is one truth. That's what it stands for. We have breakthrough science and applying pharmaceutical science to natural products. Kathy, you want to jump in here and actually kind of give a little information about what Bill Lee, the owner, and his father said about this?
Sure, and you're going to learn more about Yun-Ho Lee, Bill's father, and Bill Lee in just a little bit. But just a long story short, years and years ago, when they were already doing some business together and in the world, and they had an idea, a dream actually, was Yun-Ho Lee's dream, Bill's father, that one day they wanted to create a company called Univera, meaning one truth. And one truth meaning that where you find real health, real healing, is in nature. And that is through their breakthrough science. You'll find that Univera is one of the premier aloe company in the world, and that's where we find health and healing in nature. One truth.
So Univera is the premier aloe company in the world, in the natural products industry as well, delivering the high-quality, scientifically based, life-changing health products around the globe. Most of 40% of the world's aloe is owned by Univera, is owned by the EcoNet, which is Univera is a part of the 4-5 companies. And what does Univera have to provide? Why Univera? Well, first of all, it provides an opportunity to build a healthier body, vitality, strength, energy, and vigor. And then also it provides the opportunity to share not only the products, but also a business opportunity, and also to be of service to others. We have a nonprofit organization called Serve First, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Kathy has some great information about that because she actually traveled with the owner of the company to Honduras as a part of that organization. So it just really provides a lot of opportunity. Bill Lee, the owner and chairman, he is continuing his father's legacy and mission. Bill Lee's father came down with a serious illness in the 70s and was told to get his life in order, and the traditional medicine was not working for him, and somebody introduced him to aloe and told him that he should start drinking it. He did that. He lived for 22 more years, and his whole life turned around from being this huge businessman in real estate and insurance in Korea to wanting to bring the best of nature to humankind. And so that's how it all got started. And what they have done with Univera is cultivate a culture of service. And there are so many things within the company that are based on serving others. They chose relationship marketing because it was a powerful avenue to be able to maintain the integrity of the products from the farms to the home, and Univera is doing it right. Relationship marketing, MLM, done right. That's what's happening here. We are looking towards being in the top 10 of the industry by 2020. Right now we're about 68th out of 800, and I think it's 880 or some multi-level marketing companies. Univera is a part of a global resource called the EcoNet, and within the EcoNet we have Unigen East and West, which one is in Seattle and the other one is in Korea, 2 full-scale genomic research labs with scientific proven results. And without getting into a lot of technical understanding about this, and Kathy will talk a little bit about it, basically Univera has the most significant research and science in the natural products industry around the globe, around the world. Aloe has 10,000, Aloe Corp, which is this was the company that Billy's father started, the first company that he started. And so we are the world leader of aloe. We have 10,000 acres of farmed acres for aloe. And then Nature Tech is actually the manufacturing component of the EcoNet. And we have, the FDA does not regulate per se natural products, but it does give a stamp of approval on companies that are having good manufacturing practices, and you cannot get that seal unless you have the highest of quality of standards. And Univera has that stamp of approval from the FDA. Why Univera? Well, the world needs preventative care. If you look everywhere right now, first of all, preventative care is $1 billion booming business right now with natural supplements and the health movement. And preventative care is really where we're moving. And Univera is really on the forefront of creating a health care system instead of a sick care system that we're so used to. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathy so she can tell you about the Chief Science Officer of Univera, Stephen Cherninsky.
All right, thanks, Anita. So Stephen Cherninsky, he is Univera's Chief Science Officer, biochemist, and best-selling author of 4 books. You see the one on the right of your screen, it's all about energy, the metabolic makeover. That is his newest book. I highly recommend that to anyone listening to this webinar. It's a great, great book. All of his other ones are equally as good. He wrote this newest one with his wife, Natalie Cather, who is a physician, and she also is involved with Univera. So Stephen is the developer of Univera's life-changing products. And he is a lecturer and advisor. He's been a lecturer and advisor to members of the U.S. Olympic team. He was actually in retirement years ago, I think about 15 years ago, and Bill Lee had read the DHEA Breakthrough, his book down below, and came to him in San Diego and said, "Hey, would you like to prove your theory in your book?" And he said, "Wow, yeah, I'd love to prove my theory, but you know, I'd need a certain amount of scientists, I'd need millions of dollars, I'd need this and that." And Bill basically said, "Okay." And like Stephen says, he gave him the key to the treasure chest, and he hasn't looked back. And it's just amazing what this amazing scientist that he is and developer of these incredible products. So Stephen, a couple of our favorite quotes from Stephen: "Because the problem is aging, not our expanding waistlines, not our high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or failing memories. These are the symptoms. Aging is the problem, and until we begin to deal with the underlying causes of aging, we will never achieve optimal health." And the other one that he says is, "You have an astonishing capacity for regeneration. By activating your regenerative power, you can slow and even reverse the aging process." And I would like to throw in here, Anita, the thing about aging at the top. You know, it's not just about getting into your 50s and thinking about aging. If you look around, look out there in the world, you'll see many younger and younger people are, you know, becoming overweight or having high cholesterol and high blood pressure and failing memories. So it's not just for people of the number of candles on your cake, but it's also, you know, what's happening to people who are younger and younger.
Mm-hmm.
So did you know that you have the ability to build a new body every single day? That your body, every single body on the planet, regenerates 300 billion cells every day. And you just have to wonder or ask yourself, what kind of cells am I getting? So 65% is up to you, your lifestyle. The DNA, there's 35% that is genetic with disease and health. So that little circle on the right that you can see, 65% is up to you and your lifestyle. Down below is a little seesaw, which is Stephen's most simple way to kind of understand what's happening in the body. So when you're young, on the left side, you see high energy repair and build. So say from birth to about 35 years of age, you've got a lot of high energy repair and rebuild, because your cells, you're creating some pretty nice cells. But then once you get to be about 30 to 35, and it appears to be even getting younger now, some 25-year-olds, it starts to kind of flatten out. And that's because of diet and just the way we're taking care of ourselves. So then what happens is we start to get the low energy, the damage and the breakdown, and all of those aging symptoms that Stephen talked about in his quote. And we have so what we're working on, what we would like to work on, is having that high energy repair and rebuild no matter how many candles are on the cake. So moving us towards feeling younger and being able to move in the world easier as we move up in the years. So our products work at the cellular and DNA level to help create that experience. And many hundreds of people are having that experience, including Anita and I. So you become really the product of the product. Okay. Univera's leading edge science. When people ask what's the difference, because there's out in the world, there is just so much out there to choose from, it's overwhelming. It's just totally overwhelming. It would be totally overwhelming to me if I had to walk into somewhere and just try to figure out what to take, because you hear so many different things. And I think that we can honestly say, scientifically proven, that Univera science is far, far above what's out there. And some say it's 5 to 10 years ahead of what's out there. And they have $5 million annual research and development dollars and $100 million to date. Anita told you a little bit about the genomic research, and what that means is there's like 36 genomic laboratories in the world, and that's the capability. When you have a genomic research lab, you have the capability to look at cells at the DNA level. And Univera is the only natural product company in the world that owns 2 of these genomic research laboratories. So that is how they are able to apply pharmaceutical science to natural products. Other companies outsource, other companies do all kinds of things, but they do not have this capability. There's full-scale proton NMR capabilities. We have 177 patents awarded and pending, and that is another thing. A lot of, you'll see natural product companies out there with maybe 2 or 3, possibly 5 patents, maybe. I'm not sure, but 177 is quite outstanding. Univera owns the world's largest medicinal plant library, and even bigger than the Smithsonian, and it's able to really look at the DNA level about what these botanical plants, putting them together, and what can happen at your DNA level when you take them. So it's just, overall, the science is just really leading edge.
Okay.
So Extra is really our signature drink. It's all about energy. It starts pushing down on the aging damage. And in fact, I can't see the bottom of the screen, but I know it says that it has been scientifically proven to start pushing down on that damage within as little as 14 days. So that's a pretty amazing.
Oops, sorry, that just jumped.
So, Extra. Anita, I'm not sure. Are you seeing the whole screen?
I am, and I don't want to mess with the part that's on the actual thing, but let me see if I can do, does this change it?
Yeah, that was a little bit, oh yeah, much better, much better.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, this is a great picture because it's showing you all those really, those berries and cherries and blueberries that are in this highly antioxidant drink. And really, it's addressing the 4 issues people go to the doctor for when they're feeling their aging process. So energy, it addresses mental clarity to stay focused all day. It addresses stress relief, and also joint comfort and flexibility. So the stress relief it's not like caffeine, but there is high energy going to your cells, but it's kind of a smooth, cool stress relief, not like caffeine. And there it says, proven to reduce the rate of DNA damage in as little as 14 days. So really, it's just an incredible vitality in a bottle.
Okay.
So Univera has a simple formula to get started if you want to make some changes in your health, and that's called 2x2. So 2 products, 2 times a day. It's that easy. Aloe Select, one of the best aloe in the world. We can say that because it's true, and it's been scientifically proven. And then putting it together with Extra. So that would be a simple formula to get started.
Okay.
Here's just a little diagram that shows in the middle if you wanted to start with the aloe and the Extra twice a day, and then after you're feeling comfortable on those products, you can look at what other issues that might specifically address your what you want to look at. So perhaps healthy, more energy, maybe your weight. Perhaps you want to look at your skin, and or your overall metabolism. Here is the metabolic makeover for people who really want to look at the whole system and their overall peak health. So this is what the Univera's Metabolic Makeover 2.0 is making over your metabolism from one of damage to a metabolism of repair. So as you see on the left, you have the simple starting Extra and Aloe products. Then you add 3 products with it that really addresses the whole system. Up at the top there, Regena-Free, which will address inflammation. We all have inflammation in the body, and just because your knee is inflamed or your elbow's inflamed, it's not localized. What I've learned over the years is that, you know, when you have we all have inflammation in the body. It's again that aging issue, aging symptom, and it also is in your heart and your brain. So if you're having a lot of symptoms of inflammation, you really want to get on top of that. The middle one is Rhythmatics for heart health. And of course, something we all want to look at, our circulation and our respiration and what's going on with our heart health, Rhythmatics. Level G, lots and lots of diabetes coming out here, out in the world. I mean, every other person, it almost seems like, oh, they've got their diabetes, because that's just what happens when you get a little bit older. But addressing the blood sugar in the body, Level G. So that's the whole metabolic makeover to address your peak health. Our newest product line is called W389, and that is your solution for beautiful skin. What I love about it the most is that it's for men and for women, so it's not just for women, and it helps with diminishing lines and wrinkles. It will allow increased brightness and clarity and improved texture, and this is using the flax lily plant, I should say, flax lily plant, and also the white part of the aloe plant. And Anita had heard a story about some of the workers out in the fields were working with the aloe, and they had their one hand in the aloe, and that hand they noticed was improving. The skin and the texture on that hand was improving. So they started thinking, wow, we should look at this as to use for skincare. So there's just an example of a before and after 8 weeks of just slowly starting to diminish those fine lines. And here's one of a before and after 90 days showing, you know, some of those aging kind of dark spots that we tend to get and how it brightens and looks much more beautiful on the right after 90 days.
And I'm excited because I've started the 90-day challenge with the skincare product, and after a little bit over 30 days, I am definitely seeing a notice. I have a lot of sun damage, so it's going to be, I'm really excited about continuing for the next 60 days.
So what's great about Univera is the guarantee that they offer. It is recommended that no matter what products you try, that you stay on them, try them for 90 days, every day. Be consistent. That's the key. And after 90 days, if you don't see, feel, and measure a difference, then you can get your money back. So it's such a great solution, because I can't walk into Vitamin Cottage or Trader Joe's or whatever, GNC, and say, hey, I've used these vitamins and I don't like them. I really didn't notice anything. Can I get my money back? So this is a great way that, you know, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, because if the products don't work for you, you get your money back, and when they work, you get your life back, which is a quote from Ken Anderman, one of our independent associates. So it's an awesome, awesome deal. People with a purpose, helping children as we help our families. This Univera Serve First is the giving back piece, the nonprofit of Univera, which Bill Lee, the owner, is so passionate about. And you know, if you sign up as an associate or a customer on a convenience plan, which is a monthly plan, you will automatically help provide essential nutrients to 4 children for 1 year. So it's just an amazing thing. You'll hear a little bit more about that in a minute. So here's a picture of me in Honduras in 2012. I was selected to travel to Honduras with Bill Lee, the owner, and some of the other associates, and I was part of a team delivering vitamin A to infants and children up to 6 years of age and their families. It was just a life-changing experience for me to be able to share with these children, and just to see another country, and to see it was just such an amazing experience for me, and it is really a huge part of why I'm involved with Univera. Here's a picture of me and Kelsey we're at one of the schools, and here's some of the children. I think one of the things that I really recognized about these kids is that they're just like the kids here and everywhere in the world, really. There's no difference. They just don't have access to as much to good nutrition as we do. And, you know, their parents want the same things for them that we want for our kids here, and you could really see this. And even though many of them living in pretty severe poverty, the love that they want for their children, and they want their children to succeed just like we do. And here I am. This is after we were delivering the vitamin A, and I'm actually giving out milk. And that, in some of these communities, they don't even have access to milk at all, or any kind of milk products or anything like it. So we were giving them kind of a treat. Here I am with Bill, and I can't say enough about Bill. I don't know how many companies there are in the world that actually have owners like this. I really haven't seen or heard of anyone else talking about someone like this. I'm sure they're out there, but Bill is just an incredible man who wakes up every morning and wonders how many people he can help. He wants to continue his father's mission of bringing the best of nature to humankind through plants and nature, and he's a world-renowned philanthropist and is just truly about giving back. I can't say enough about him. I'm just so honored to be part of his mission and vision. And this is us reporting after the first trip at the Univera Convention. I remember really telling the other associates that were there that, you know, Bill can't do this single-handedly by himself, so he really needs our help. And I did forget to mention that back in the picture with Kelsey. Kelsey's actually from Vitamin Angels, and we actually team up with Vitamin Angels because they're a bigger organization, and hopefully someday we're going to be able to be as big. And so we team up with them. We're a big supporter of Vitamin Angels and Feed the Children. And so when we really all work together, that's when amazing things can happen.
And Kathy, what did Bill Lee tell you about how you can help? You asked him how you could help him.
He said, I said, what is the biggest thing? What can we do to help Serve First? And he said, build your business. Build your business.
So Univera, obviously Kathy and I did not come right into the business. We came in on the products, and that's really how Univera works, because they want you to be a product of the products. Because once you see how valuable the products are and how much they work for you, you can't help but want to share them with other people. So Univera, the business emphasis, the Direct Selling Association, we're looking to be we are already in the top 100. We're looking to be in the top 10 by 2020. And the Direct Selling Association says, show me a company over 10 years old with between 50 million and 150 million in annual sales, and I'll show you a company that will grow to 1 billion in annual sales over the next 10 years. That is where Univera is right now. We are a low overhead. You don't have to buy a huge load of products and keep them in your house when you start up. We have our business is completely web-based, meaning that you can access many of the training tools. You can access a platform on the web base, but this is still about relationship marketing, so we are definitely about connecting and building relationships with people, but it's just that the web allows us, like we are here now, to access many, many more people all across the globe. You can create this business as a part-time or full-time business, depending on what works into your lifestyle. We have an experienced leadership team. Our CEO and President, Tom Zimmer, has 40-plus years of marketing and business development and experience. He has a successful track record in solving complex business issues with results-oriented strategies. Stephen Cherninsky, Kathy talked a lot about him already, but basically he is the innovator and the developer of Univera's product line, and he's considered the guru of anti-aging. He's a lecturer and advisor to the members of the U.S. Olympic team. The timing is right. Why? Because there are two emerging trends in the economy. I talked a little bit earlier about the fact that preventative health, anti-aging, performance, and weight loss is a billion-dollar industry right now. Web-based business ownership, relationship marketing, known before as multi-level marketing, is one of the fastest growing business avenues today. And you'll see a lot of the huge corporate CEO business owners moving into relationship marketing. The Wall Street Journal said relationship marketing is the ultimate social business model, and technology is redefining perceptions of what it is all about. If you understand and realize how social media is playing a role in business right now, you'll totally understand how powerful this can be. Unique advantages of relationship marketing. I already mentioned that it's low overhead, web-based, and high profitability, low cost of entry. There's training online, and we have a simple development system. So you can start your business immediately leveraging the online content and web conferencing systems. So how much is it that you want to earn? And basically these are the levels that you can move through in Univera, and you can see underneath each one of them, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, emerald, diamond, and blue diamond. Underneath there, they give you an estimated amount that you can make per month. And we have a simple formula. And if you look at it this way, if you want to become silver, you need to bring 4 people to bronze. If you want to become gold, you bring 4 people to silver. If you want to become platinum, you bring 4 people to gold, and continuing on up. You can see at the top how many business volume points that you need on each one of those levels. And down here, they also show you, at the bottom, show you some of the bonus and the express rank commissions that you can make as well. I've talked to a few people who were with other companies before they came to Univera, and they said this is by far one of the best compensation plans they've ever seen, because it really actually pays you on 3 levels, plus the bonuses on top of that. So how do you get started? Well, Kathy mentioned earlier the 2x2, and we have a starter pack with the 2x2, and it includes 1 bottle of extra concentrate, 1 box of extra minis, 2 bottles of Aloe Select, and 1 getting started kit, which is included in that. You don't have to pay extra for that. So the price is $189. It's worth 100 BV, business volumes, and that is at a retail value of $229.50. So you're saving quite a bit there. So Aloe and Extra equal Univera's brand, the 2x2 core. You start these 2 products, and this simple formula can change your life. Whoops, is that the last one? There. So Univera offers the opportunity to positively change your life and the lives of others. So why wait? You can power up your life today. And we just wanted to end with giving you a little bit of information that you can connect with us. We both are on Facebook, and both have emails that you can connect us with, and there's our phone number. So we'll just leave that up for a minute while you can jot down that information and get in touch with us to get started. Let us know what we can do for you if you need more information. Kathy, do you want to add anything at this point while they're looking at that?
Well, I was just going to remind everybody that next Tuesday we'll be here again live, and we'll start off our webinar with the power of intention, and how do we create a feeling we want to have on a day-to-day basis. So we'll be talking about intention, and then also if you're interested, if health is maybe on the top of your list, if you're interested in learning more about Univera, just feel free to contact us anytime.
Okay, I'm going to hop out of this, come back here. Let's see here. All right. So that about wraps it up for today, Kathy. And great being here, and can't wait till next week. And so looking forward to continuing to share your path to renewal, and excited that we can now greet and meet people all over the globe. So we're signing off.
Have a great day.
Take care.